Since the early 1900s, Alberta has been a popular destination for tourists looking to discover the real Canada. And with some of the most stunning scenery on the planet, it's not hard to see why. So I've loaded the iPod, packed the car and decided upon one of the most iconic road trips in North America, taking in the forests and glaciers of the Canadian Rocky Mountains. And it all starts in the little town of Banff.
Banff National Park has always been a place where people have to come to explore. I mean, the First Nations been doing it for 10,000, 12,000 years, and it has not changed. We still get an amazing amount of people coming from not only from Alberta, but from Canada, from around the world to explore the valley. If you love photography, well, we have subjects, we have wildlife, we have nature, we have flora, fauna in every direction you look.
The crisp alpine air here really is as clean as it gets, and the expansive mountainscape that circles the horizon is just crying out to be explored, which is exactly what I'm going to do on one of the oldest forms of transport in the area.
Well, the main reason we have visitors coming to Banff National Park for horseback riding and stuff is it's untouched wilderness. There isn't ATVs or anything like that going through it. The only thing allowed really is horseback.
So Roland, you're actually a real cowboy. You said you grew up on a ranch, is that right?
Yes. Yes, I did grow up on a ranch 5 hours northeast of here. The Canadian Rockies were actually settled by horseback. The only way to travel efficiently and carry enough supplies to last you a few days, you need to go by horses. You don't have to be a really good rider. We have any horse to suit your needs to come for a ride.
Well, this is breathtaking. I can't think of a better way to see this gorgeous forest, and it's so tranquil. And unlike when you're hiking, you don't really have to watch where you're stepping because you're sitting on a horse, and it's like a giant rocking chair, really.
On our backcountry tours, you can see your bears and wolves and stuff. When you get into the further, like 1 day, 2 day and up, you'll get to see like there's waterfalls, high altitude lakes, and just lots of good scenery.
Oh, what an incredible view! So what's that mountain over there?
Cascade Mountain.
Lots of waterfalls, I'm guessing.
Yes, mountain of cascading waters.
And it was by horseback that early settlers to the region uncovered the perfect remedy to a day's riding.
2 European settlers actually discovered the hot springs in 1883, the lower hot springs. They then discovered the upper hot springs in 1884, which are now the ones that we continue to bathe in today. They believed that the hot springs actually had healing benefits. People of all sorts of illnesses would come, travel from far away, even from Europe. So the best time to bathe here at the hot springs is in the evening, and we actually are open until 11 p.m. at night. The moon will actually rise up above one of our mountains. It's very beautiful, an excellent time to take a picture. The steam also rises from the hot water in the evening, and it's a very beautiful natural experience.
Well, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm halfway up a mountain, and I've got to admit I was expecting to be quite a lot colder than this. But these waters are 39 degrees Celsius, and it really is quite magical, surrounded by fir trees and stars. It's a perfect way to relax at the end of your day. Leaving Banff takes you to the start of Highway 93, also known as the Icefields Parkway, and to Lake Louise, where I met up with local guide Rebecca for a spot of sightseeing.
Well, the Lake Louise ski area is a year-round resort. We have a skiing and snowboard destination in the winter, and in the summer we offer a sightseeing lift and gondola.
Gosh, what a vantage point.
Yeah, you have the village of Lake Louise down there. You have the actual lake of Lake Louise with the chateau, the glacier, and then over there is Mount Temple.
Without wanting to sound like a cliche, it does look like a postcard. It's
Doesn't it?
just
Yeah.
stunning.
Yeah. In addition to the views, we have our award-winning interpretive center. We do complimentary presentations and guided hikes, walks, and we also have hiking routes available from the top of the lift as well.
So Rebecca, bear scare. I can imagine what it does, but what is it exactly?
This is bear spray. So hikers will typically take this with them when hiking in bear country. Another precaution in case they do encounter a bear, just to scare it away in case it's curious. But if you're making enough noise and following the protocol for traveling in groups, you shouldn't have to use it. I've never had to.
As you travel along Highway 93, the landscape that unfolds before you becomes more breathtaking at every turn. But keep an eye out for all the little detours that reveal some real hidden treasures. This is Bow's Summit, the highest point on the Icefields Parkway. It's famous for its colourful timberline meadows and stunning views of both the Peyto Glacier and Peyto Lake, said to be the bluest lake in the Rockies. When you're driving through the Banff and Jasper National Parks, it's easy to see why this route is dubbed the Icefields Parkway, and no visit would be complete without an excursion onto the Columbia Glacier itself, where you get to feel like you're truly on top of the world. So David, tell me where exactly I am, because it does look quite lunar. I could be on the moon.
Without a doubt, very alien landscape here.
It is.
But you're out in the middle of the Athabasca Glacier. Below us, there's about 300 meters of ice.
That's a lot of ice, gosh.
It's coming from above the Columbia Icefield, much larger glacier, about the size of the city of Vancouver in area, over 300 square kilometers. The vehicles that we use are specially adapted for this type of environment. They use huge low-pressure tires, and the engines are designed to sit high at the back of the coach to direct heat away from the glacier. So we're having a very minimal impact to come out here.
Well, as you look around this glacier, I mean, I don't need to tell you how unbelievably dramatic it looks. And when you're up here, it really does feel like it's just you and the elements. Speaking of elements, though, this wind is absolutely freezing, so if you don't mind, I'm going to get back on the bus. Yes, a little vest top and cardigan was no match for that icy Canadian breeze, so it's back on the bus and back down the mountain. Sadly, though, all good things must come to an end, and this road trip winds up at the park community of Jasper. And the best way to see it is from the peak of the mighty Whistler's Mountain.
The Jasper Tramway is in its 45th year of operation. We were built in 1964. Whistler's Mountain was named after the little hoary marmots that you'll see running around up here because of the noise they make when they're calling each other.
This has to be one of the most spectacular views I think I've ever seen. How high up are we here?
We're about 2,200 metres and the mountain itself is about 2,400 metres.
Now I can see the town of Jasper down there. What else am I looking at?
Well, you do have a view of 5 different mountain ranges here, as well as there is the Athabasca River here, which has the green look because of the glacial silt. There's also the hike to the summit, which can take about 45 minutes each way, and it's not that hard for anybody to do. The reaction of people is just amazing. Like, they're just awe-inspired by the view, of course. They're not expecting it. They're really not expecting what they see up here. I love it here. It's an amazing place.
When I came to Alberta, I expected to see mountains, rivers and wildlife. But what I've experienced in the Banff and Jasper National Parks is so much more, because nothing can quite prepare you for the sheer scale and beauty of the place. This may have been my first trip to the Canadian Rockies, but it certainly won't be my last.